Check, check, 1 2 1 2, motherfucker on the mic.
How are you feeling today, Reboot?
I am feeling really good though. I mean, we're having one of the most important weekends just right now, today with the Ushuaia opening, and of course tomorrow the Vagabundos at Pasha, the big thing. And yeah, happy to be back on the island, I can tell you.
You used to live here, didn't you?
Yeah, last year I've been spending the whole season on the island, but I must tell you, this freaking island is dangerous. Yeah, if you stay here all the summer, there's just too many good parties to resist. I came to Luciano in a very classic way. I sent him a CD.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like old school promotion sending in. I would have never done this unless my friend said, it's like, hey Frank, the stuff you're doing is something for Luciano. And so I sent him a CD, and he actually did fucking call me.
Wow.
And he said, it's like, man, let's do something together. And that's how it all started. And by now we're really close friends, and I consider Cadenza my family.
Luciano runs the label. I mean, as an artist, tell me about what it's like. How does he? What does he give you? Does he give you freedom to release when you want?
Completely, fully. And that actually, you know, when you listen to the Cadenza releases, which are very versatile and very different, you actually know, as a label manager, he gives tons of freedom. Now, of course, we had especially in the last year, with a couple of records coming out, which was more pushing and more clubby. Consider that if you compare it to the old Cadenza tracks,
yeah,
which are very deep, eclectic, I would say. Yeah? But still, it's like, for me personally, I'm saying, okay, Lucien, this is what I produced. Do you like that? Say, yeah, okay, let's put it out. And there is no question, is that gonna be a floor filler? Is that gonna be a hit? No, that's not the thing about it.
That must be pretty amazing as an artist to have that freedom to do whatever you want.
It's family, man. I'm telling you, no bullshitting.
Yeah.
I consider these people family.
One of the things that you do on the side of Cadenza is release bootlegs sometimes, and vinyl releases on side and drum and things like this.
And even though I've got tons of tracks that actually have never been released,
right?
Just spread it amongst my DJ friends, like bootlegs, edits, whatsoever. And tons. There must be 30, 40 tracks, something like
How important is it for you to release those kind of bootlegs?
I rather have the people standing there on the dance floor saying, it's like, oh my god, Reboot plays this tune, or Luciano plays this tune. Nobody can buy. I think there's a lot more.
Braços dados ou não, nas escolas, nas ruas, campos, construções. Caminhando e cantando e seguindo a canção pelos campos da fonte.
Tell me what your upbringing was like in terms of club music in Frankfurt.
I was just a freaking little child. I was 13 years old.
13?
It was 1990.
Wow.
When I first time heard Club Night, which was a radio show that Sven Feest young Sven Feest host.
Yeah.
And it was actually the first radio show in our area around Frankfurt that was taking care of electronic music though. And so I heard this the first time when I was seriously 13 years old. And I had an older friend, and he was totally into it. He was like 16, 17. And his mother actually drove us to the Omen which was the club back in the day, Sven's resident club. And she knew the bouncer, and she smuggled us inside. I mean, I was a freaking 13-year-old kid, yeah, standing in one of the most amazing nightclubs there is in history. And yeah, I was served straight away, man. I'm telling you.
That's hilarious. And did you want to just become a DJ? Were you entranced by Sven and the whole sound?
Yeah, well, I was totally fascinated. I spent the last freaking dime of my pocket money on records, and I started producing when I was like 14, 15, with some tracker programs, they were called back in that day, on my mom's office PC.
Wow.
Didn't like it though. and yeah, well, that's the way I started, and I was like, okay, I want to do that myself. And so I started buying drum machines and everything, and I always stick to it.
Took you quite a long time to get recognised by Luciano and I guess the industry. Was that your opening?
Actually,
shot,
I never had any intention to make a career as a musician.
Right.
That was just a hobby. I mean, I was working on a normal 8 to 5 job.
What was your job?
Wearing a fucking tie and a suit. Yeah.
What was the job?
I was working as a business consultant. I made an MBA in economics, and then I was working as a business consultant.
Wow.
And only three and a half years ago, I quit my job because it was not possible at one point to do both equally professional. So I said, it's like, okay, I have to make a decision. And my parents, my mom and my dad, which are very conservative, actually told me, it's like, do you know what, son? You're gonna be a musician. Do it. My mom was actually here raving all day.
I saw her actually.
Yeah,
I did. Yeah.
And so, yeah, thanks to them, I'm doing what I'm doing today. I played my first live show when I was 15. And the guys in the club had to get a permission from my parents to let me in. I'm not kidding you. I had to sign a permission that I could go inside the club. And at like 2 o'clock or 1 o'clock in the night, they had to kick me out. Yeah, no, I was playing live from the scratch, and so...
What were the machines like back then?
Well, actually, there was no laptops, no PCs, no Ableton, of course. So my first live set, I played with a Revolution 309 and a MC303 Groovebox, motherfucker.
I would like you to tell me what your big tune of the summer is. Can you tell me, have you got one on your mind?
The latest La Peña record is just unfucking-believable. And the stuff that Adam Port does is also the bomb. Terje Bakker is the name you have to keep in mind. And they actually have a couple of great tracks at the moment. I'm not gonna tell you the one and only track, man.
Reboot.
You can't expect me to do that.
The ever elusive.